Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were one of the league's nicest stories through the first, let's say, 12, 13 games. First, Justin Fields was helping them to wins, and then Russell Wilson came in and looked like the Russell Wilson with the Seahawks as the Steelers were cruising. Looked like they would probably win the AFC North, except there was still games remaining, and the end of the season has not gone well as they have now lost four straight after yesterday's 19-17 defeat at the hands of the Cincinnati Bengals. Thus, the Bengals' postseason hopes are still alive. They do need both the Broncos and the Dolphins to lose today to have a chance. But we look at Russell Wilson's numbers, very mid, if even that. 17 to 31 for 148 and a touchdown. You see just 4.8 yards per pass attempt, sacked four times, a 31.4 QBR. So definitely not one of his better games. But that has been more his calling of late. And the Steelers right now looks like they might be playing the Ravens. We see here this via Steelers.com. So yes, Baltimore clinched the AFC North with their win earlier in the day. Steelers currently the 5 seed. They would travel to Houston, which would be their preference if they remain in five. However, if the Chargers defeat the Raiders on Sunday in Las Vegas, Steelers would fall to the 6th seed. So, um, yes, you have to believe that the Chargers are, not that the game's meaningful for them. It would not have been if the Steelers had won. Um, they definitely are a better team than the Raiders, so you would fully expect the Chargers to win, which would slide the Steelers to a much less favorable playoff matchup. I mean, the Texans have been scuffling for about a month now, and the Ravens, for the most part, have been clicking on all cylinders. But we take a look at Russ's numbers of late. So he's got a 51 QBR by the season. I don't take QBR is gospel. Like, if someone has a higher QBR, they're definitely the better quarterback. But, when it's a trend, you look at the four game losing streak, and yes, the four teams, although the Bengals don't have a good defense, but, four of the better teams, but still, and Bengals, not necessarily one of the better teams, but three of the better teams, and then the Bengals, who've been playing like one of the better teams of late, at least on offense. But 33.6 QBR, 41.8 QBR, 42.2 QBR, and 31.4 QBR. For Wilson, you see in none of the last 5 games has he thrown for more than 217 yards. In 3 of the 5 games, he hasn't thrown for more than 158 yards. So, not at his most productive self entering the playoffs. So my question is, should the Steelers look into maybe starting Justin Fields now? It has been a while since he started. You see, his last start came on October 13th. So by the time the playoffs roll around, it'll have been almost 3 months since Fields made his last start. His QBR is one higher than Wilson's on the season, 52 compared to 51. But it's the way Wilson's playing. I mean, he hasn't been good of late. Uh, I read articles on how he can make, I don't know, 40 million, 45 million plus a season on his next deal since he'll be a free agent. I can't imagine that now. So my question is, should the Steelers potentially look into making a quarterback change for what is likely a game against the Ravens? Possibly could be against the Texans as well, or we maybe give Russ a quick hook, give him the start, and if he starts playing subpar football, then they could make the quarterback change to Fields. But yes, this is a team that hasn't won in the playoffs in quite some time, so. Was looking like it could be maybe a very good season for them. Of course, started 10-3, but again, losers of four straight, and they haven't won a playoff game since the 2017 season. So, been a long time. Let's see what the Steelers can do. And let me make sure. It might be the 2016 season. Yes, the 2016 season. My apologies. So, yes, it'll have been about 8 years since they last won a playoff game. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.